Hi there, I am the Riles, a hardcore noob at Slay the Spire. Let's begin. We're going to play the Defect. We'll talk to Nail, we'll see what kind of options we get. Get 250 gold, obtain a curse, seems pretty good to me. And I don't like losing my starting relic usually. I definitely don't like curses though, but I do like 250 gold. Let's just transform a card and see what happens. We definitely don't want to transform Dual Caster Zap. That's because those are one of our main. Those two cards are our main ways of dealing damage. So we'll transform and defend. Defragment. Okay, that's interesting. Gain 1 focus. I think, is that a power or... Yeah, that's a power. So it's a one-time use thing. And we are facing the Guardian. Which means you want to do... If you can, you want to do like 40 damage in a turn so you can switch him to defensive mode. It makes him a lot less threatening. There is no way to hit 3 elites. Let's go down the middle path. And this is a pretty simple turn. We killed this Spike Slime, and we dual cast the Acid Slime. So the Defect is an interesting character. As you can see, we have these 3 orb slots. We have cards that can channel the orb slots, so we can put a lightning into one of those orb slots. And the orb will be channeled into the first available orb slot. Or if there are no available orb slots, it will do something called evoke the first orb that you... and the first orb is the rightmost one. They're ordered from right to left, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to use this defragment card. I've never used it before. Okay. So now it does 4 damage at the end of my turn, and if I evoke it, it deals 9 damage. Okay, that's pretty useful. So the fact that we have a focus card is going to make me more biased towards cards that channel orbs, because we get more benefit out of channeling orbs now. Okay, we'll just kill this guy. Okay, that's useful. Barrage is an interesting one. You know, at most we can deal 12 damage. We could deal 12 damage, we could deal 8, or we could deal 4, or we could deal 0, depending on how many orbs we have channeled. And for one energy, dealing 12 damage is pretty nice. For 1 energy, dealing 8 damage is pretty nice. But for 1 energy, dealing 4 damage is pretty bad. And then, if we don't have any channeled orbs, Barrage is useless. So then it just sort of fills up the deck. It's fun with Barrage to to fill up your orb slots and then unleash a big attack, but that's sort of a slow tactic, especially if you're evoking orbs a lot. If you evoke an orb, it disappears from your orb slot, therefore making Barrage less effective. But you can always choose to Barrage first before you evoke the orb, and then evoke the orb. So there's sort of a way to play around it. Deal 3 damage. If the enemy intends to attack, apply 1 weak. Now we do have a power card in Defragment. So we can channel 1 lightning. But, you know, I'm not crazy about the chances of this happening. You know, you have to play Storm first. And then Defragment. And to have the cards arrive in your hand, or to play those cards in that order, you have to be a little bit lucky. So I think Go for the Eyes is probably the correct choice. It's just a way to help reduce incoming damage. And deal a little bit of damage too. So it's taking me 10 minutes to complete the first fight, which will probably drive some viewers nuts. But this is the way I play the game. I take my time, I light up a smoke, take a drink, contemplate. I don't like to play fast in this game. Now, playing fast is probably the better way to get more experience with the game, but playing fast, you tend to miss some details. There's been plenty of times where I've attacked, my enemy had spikes, I didn't realize it, and then I died. So if I had slowed down and just really tried to take in everything, consider all the factors in that turn, I might have put up some defense and blocked that 3 damage that's incoming. And I would have lived another turn, which... if you do an average around 40 damage a turn, if you live another turn, that could mean the enemy dies and you go on to live, so... Alright. Into the unknown. I like this option. We did pick up an attack, but it's not a great attack. Deal 3 damage, I'm sort of leery about removing too many strikes at the beginning of the game. Or at the beginning of a run, I should say. So we'll get rid of a defend. Alright, I like this option. Upgraded a defend. Which some people might be a little pissed that a basic card got upgraded, and they might say, oh, that was bad RNG. But I'm fine with it. Upgrading basic cards is a good way to keep them relevant, and a lot of them stay in your deck for a good portion of the run, unless you get really lucky with removal events. Because typically, during an act, you only hit up at most 2 shops, and usually only 1. And you're offered a lot of cards to add to your deck. So it's quite easy to blow up your deck. Make it bloated if you're not careful about how you're choosing cards. Now, I do have enough money for a card removal at the shop, so I might do that. That would bring my deck down to 9 cards. Which may be a bad thing. I don't know what I'd remove. Another defend, and I'd only have 1 defend left. That might be too much removal. But we'll go for the unknown, I suppose. Here we go. Okay. Oh, this is this game. Alright, spin the wheel. That looks like a curse. At the end of a turn, take 2 damage, yeah. Well, now I have a little bit more reason to visit a shop, so I will. The Gremlin, sometimes you get a game where you can play a card matching. minigame. And that game's nice because, you know, if you got a little whiteboard like I do, you can sort of cheat by, you know, if your memory's bad like mine, you can sort of cheat by, you know, oh, okay, that card is in that slot, and then you write it down. That card is in that slot, okay, you write it down. And you can also choose, like, oh, there's a match here, but I don't want to add that card to my deck, so then you can just do a more random. You can just pick another random slot and search for cards, only cards that you want to add to your deck. So, anyways, that's my explanation of that is probably confusing. So, unless we get the event, you'll probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Alright. That's a nice card to draw in our opening hand. I suppose we'll strike and dual cast. This is the Gremlin Noob, and he has a buff called Enrage. And what Enrage does is boosts Gremlin Knob's strength anytime a non-attack card is used. Or excuse me, anytime a skill is used. He gains 2 strength, so he scales pretty rapidly if you choose to use skills, so you want to avoid using skills. So this is the perfect card. It's an attack card that also weakens him, so we reduce the incoming damage. Unfortunately, I think we have to play a skill. We will drink this potion. Deal 8 damage, apply 2 lock-on. Lock-on targets receive 15% more damage from orbs. Oh, and this is an attack. Well, that's a pretty nice card. Claw is not useful. Deals 3 damage. It boosts the attack of all claw cards. Well, we'll only have 1. So we'll only be boosting the attack of that 1 claw card the whole combat. And I'm not confident that we'll draw this claw card very often. Rebound is interesting. I'll choose Bullseye. See, now our orb is doing passive 6 damage, which is amazing. Let's see, we have if we just did an all-out strike fest, that would be 18 damage. So 29 minus 18. We have 11 hit points left, and then our orb would deal 6. Bringing him down to 5 hit points. If we zapped, we would increase his strength by 2, meaning we'd receive 8 damage. But at the end of the turn, we would do 12 damage with our lightning orbs. And then if we striked and we striked, that would be 24 damage, bringing him down to 5 health again, but increasing his strength. So the better option here is to strike 3 times. Well, he applied vulnerable to us, but it's not going to matter. I like the theme of overclock. Overclock your computer and too much, and you'll melt it. Let's see, we sort of got some... Do we have power synergy in this deck yet? We've got 1 power card. Charge battery, I sort of like that one. Gain 7 block, and then we get more energy next turn. Since we have focus, we really want to be adding... we really want to be channeling orbs, though. And... yeah, I'm not sure here. I'll go with charge battery, I suppose. Well, the rule of thumb I've seen when reading some articles, I've read some articles online that suggest that if you're below 50% HP, you should probably rest at a rest site. So I will follow that advice. Okay, we have an enemy or a question mark. If we go down the right path, we have an option to visit the shop. However, probably won't have enough money to remove a card. Though we could, you know, cards tend to be cheap at the shop. Like 30, 40 gold for a card is not uncommon. So even if you don't have a lot of gold, picking up 1 card can be beneficial. Especially because you tend to have more options for cards at shops. So you get more of a chance to put something into your deck that's really going to synergize well. No, I'm not crazy about visiting a shop at this point. Our deck is pretty small, and we'll have plenty of opportunity to add more cards as we fight combat, so I'm going to go left. Alright, here's a good old Jawworm. Channeling a Zap is, or channeling a Lightning is a good move. I'm gonna reduce some incoming damage by defending. I could have chose to attack, use my turn to only use attacks. But I'd be taking a full 11 points of damage. So I reduced it down to 6. I don't know. You can argue that the extra strike, would have brought him down to 18 hit points. And if you draw 3 strikes on your next turn, he's dead. So you could, it's not really clear what the correct choice there was, from my perspective. Of course, from somebody else's perspective, they're going to have an opinion about how you should play a turn. And so, yeah. Anyways. Alright, we'll gain 1 focus. Hopefully we draw enough cards to kill him this turn. Let's see, we've got 12 damage. He's got 14 health. Plus 4 damage from our orb, our passive damage. So yeah, he's just dead. Woohoo! Okay. Steam Barrier, gain 6 block, strictly better than a regular block card. It's free, but the block gets decreased by 1. And every time you use it, well, wait, I'm not sure about how that card works. Gain 6 block, decrease this card's block by 1 this combat. So it would go down to 5 block, and the next time you use it, would it go down to 4 block and 3 and 2 and 1 and just keep going down, or would it stay at 5 block? So I'm not sure about that card. I'm pretty sure it goes 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 every time you use it. 0. Sweeping Beam is a nice, good card. If you've got 4 enemies on the battlefield, that is 24 damage total. Draw a card. And at its worst, it's a strike plus draw a card. So, it's strictly better than a strike. Beam Cell is nice if we're applying vulnerable shenanigans. It costs 0 energy, So you're a lot more likely to follow up with an attack that makes use of that vulnerable. You know, it's not like Ironclad's Bash where you need to use 2 energy to apply 2 vulnerable, and then to get the full benefit out of that attack, you need to follow up with a 1 energy attack. Otherwise, you're losing out on 1 vulnerable worth of damage. Now, I don't think this deck is going to be, you know, I don't know what this deck is going to turn into. That's part of the fun of this game. Your deck, the best way to play, in my opinion, is to adapt in each moment. So I don't think we're an attack-heavy deck right now. Well, we sort of are. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes. I go for the eyes, which is an attack. Got 5 attacks. Some skills and a power. I like Sweeping Beam. I would like to, you know, lean into the vulnerable synergy, but I just don't think this deck has it. Not right now, at least. So I'm going to head towards that elite. Let's see what we pick up. Molten Egg. Okay, so now we're really biased towards picking up attacks because they get upgraded. Which sort of shifts us away from an orb-focused deck. But maybe we can be an attack-heavy and orb-heavy deck. But we'll see. We shall see. Okay. We drew a bunch of attack cards, so that's nice. Basically, anytime your enemy is not attacking, you want to attack. If your enemy's attacking, you know, the logic goes that you should defend. But it doesn't always, you don't always have to. Sometimes it's better just to eat the damage that your enemy is outputting so that you can deal more damage. I don't know. So I will play Charge a Battery. And now I have a choice between dual casting let's see, I already have a lightning orb channeled, so that makes Defragment a little bit more valuable. I think I'll go with the slower play, which is to channel more orbs and gain some focus. Okay, he's just dead. Alright. A block potion, that's nice. Cool-headed Channel 1 Frost draw card, I like that. Beam Cell. Deal 4 damage applied to vulnerable. Add a 0 energy card. I like that. Leap is an excellent defensive card. Since we have the gain 1 focus power, what's it called? Defragment. I'm sort of leaning towards cool-headed because that channels another orb. And I just realized there is no music. So let's turn the music on. Okay, good enough. Zap is a good card to have in our opening hand. Now we have some options here. The enemy is asleep. So we could let this enemy sleep and get our focus, or wait until we get defragment, and also channel more orbs before we wake this guy up. Which I think I will do, so I'll just end the turn. Okay, now we have well, we still don't have our power, so I'm going to end the turn again. Thankfully, there was defragment. Alright. So we are going to wake him up this turn. We're going to evoke a lightning, which will do 9 damage. And right now we're not going to apply weak, but we will deal 4, so I'll just play that. So we could 7 block plus 8 is 15. We could block most of this incoming damage. which I think I will do. I'll just draw a card to see what... Oh, okay, dual cast, alright. So I'll block once and dual cast. I take more damage, but I deal more damage. It's a trade-off that I often take. So we have 18 damage incoming. We've got 4 energy. I feel like there's a way to play this optimally. So I definitely want to see what I draw here. Sweeping beam. Okay. I get 12 total block out of dual casting this Frost Orb. So I think I will do that. Channel one more lightning. And I'll defend. Now, I made a mistake on that past turn. I forgot about my Frost Orb's passive ability, so I didn't actually need to play a defend to block fully. But I did, so whatever. We've got 3 attack cards here, but they're pretty lackluster. We will play this just to gain the extra energy on the next turn. The block is useless at this particular moment in the fight. Okay, I gotta remember gaining 3 block. What's nice is if your opponent debuffs your dexterity, it doesn't apply to orbs. So if you evoke a Frost Orb with 1 focus, you're still going to gain 6 block. Now if you play a regular defend card, you only gain an upgraded defend, you only gain 7 block. Yeah. So we can channel lightning, evoke our lightning orb, do 18 damage. So we'll do that. We can channel a Frost, draw a card. We'll block for 6. Oh man, that's almost... Well, that is... He's dead now, so... It's the great thing about card draw. And I probably should have, technically, when you have a card that draws other cards, you want to play that first because you have more options. If you play a bunch of cards, then draw a card, you really don't have many options when it comes to lines of play. And what I mean by a line of play is just the sequence of cards that you choose to play. Strawberry, okay. Now it is tempting to get another defragment. However, I think that's too much. I think that makes the deck too slow. I like Rebound, the upgraded Rebound. Whenever you're presented with card rewards, it's always more tempting to go for those cards that are upgraded. What about All for One? Let's see, how many zero-cost cards do we have? We only have one. So that's 2 energy for 14 damage, which is decent. I think it's too expensive, though. I like Rebound. So we've beaten 2 elites, which is the maximum number of elites we can fight on this particular instance of Act 1. Now here we have a Jawworm and a Louse. I see these enemies so often, I actually know what they are. When I by some miracle make it to Act 2 or 3, I'm less sure about the enemies. I think I want to defend some of this damage, so I will play that upgraded defend. And that works out perfectly. I'll strike the Louse and dual cast. Alright. That worked out. The thing about evoking lightning orbs is in multi-enemy fights, it's not, you're not guaranteed to hit the enemy that you want to hit. But it's still damage, so. Definitely want to be dealing damage here, so that's 12 plus 6 is 18 plus 6 is 24. So we can't kill this guy. I will channel a Frost Orb. Let's see, he's got 5 block, which means I have 24 points of damage to deal. Which I don't have. Keep forgetting about my orichalcum. Orichalcum? I don't know how to pronounce that. So can I do 12 damage? Yes, I can. Okay. We could get another cool-headed. We could loop. Don't think I've ever used loop before. At the start of your turn, trigger the passive ability of your next orb. So basically, let's say we had a lightning orb in our first orb slot. We played loop, so we would do 3 damage of passive. We'd do 3 damage passively at the end of our turn, and then at the beginning of our turn we'd deal another 3 damage. So this just makes the passive abilities of our orbs even better. Aggregate, gain energy for every 4 cards in your draw pile. I plan on keeping this deck small. So let's say at the beginning of, say we had a 15 card deck. We draw 5 at the beginning, we would have 10 cards in our draw pile. We draw aggregate. We would draw 2 cards. But any other time, depending on the cards that we played, we'd have less than 10 cards in our draw pile. Yeah, I don't know about aggregate. I like loop. Seems to go well with our focus ability. Or focus power, I should say. Alright, we're going to upgrade. Ooh, triggered twice. That's interesting. I don't know if that's correct. My line of thinking is that since we have Defragment, that improves our orbs both passively and when they get evoked. And if we use Loop, that's even more value out of our passively out of our orbs. So we'll see. We'll see if we get value out of this combination of cards. Now I can kill a guy right away. And I can kill a guy who's going to do the most damage, so I will do that. And then I could potentially kill one, but we'll see what happens. So I'll do 3 damage at the end of the turn, and I'll get triggered twice, which would be 9 damage total, which is spread out randomly amongst enemies, but whatever. Oh, this is a better play. Whoa! 25 damage incoming. Man, oh man. I have only attack cards plus a power. I have a defense potion, so I should probably use that. Defragment is not really a value play right now because we only have 1 orb channeled. Whatever we do, we definitely want to kill this guy. Definitely want more cards that channel orbs, so I'll grab Cool-Headed. Alright, we're facing the Guardian. And I'm not sure... Not sure that our current build has enough DPS to shift this guy into defensive mode at critical points in the fight, so this might be pretty tough. Okay, this is a free 4 damage, so I'll take it. So I need to do 13 points of damage. In order to avoid this incoming 32 damage. And I simply don't have it. Man, this sucks. So I've got 3 damage at the end of my turn. 6 plus 6 is 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have... okay. The play is clear. So I barely did enough damage there to shift him into defensive mode. So that's interesting. I was just thinking about how this Frost Orb interacts with Orichalcum. It says if you end your turn without blocking, 6 blocks. So what happens is, at the end of my turn, I gain 4 block due to the Frost Orb and Loop. And then since I do have block, Orichalcum doesn't trigger. Yeah. Makes sense. Gain 8 block. Rebound. I want to read dual cast. Bit of an inefficient turn there. Since I evoked more block than I needed. Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Seems clear that I should channel lightning, of course. It's a total of 6 damage at the end of the turn. Plus 12 damage at the beginning of my next turn. But not anymore since I evoked that lightning orb. And I'll play a defend. I keep applying that weak, which helps greatly reduce the incoming damage. So I'm going to get 2/4, 2/4, 8 block at the end of my turn. Oh, never mind. I'm only going to get 4 block at the end of my turn. Might as well play it now. We're, you know, a little over a third of the way through the fight, I would say. But there's still 2/3 of it left to go, so playing that power at this point is okay. Wanted to push the lightning into the first orb slot so I could dual cast it. Definitely want lightnings. Definitely want to channel lightning orbs. So here's where my Orichalcum will come in handy. I'm just going to choose to all-out attack on this turn. Well, can I? Might as well. Gaining that extra energy on my next turn is nice, so I should play. What card is that? Charge battery. So I get 6 block and draw a card, which is nice. So I get to dual cast my Zap, or my Lightning Orb, I should say. Damage coming in, and I have 6. I've got 12 points of passive block due to this loop. Isn't that amazing? I do want to move that Lightning Orb forward in the orb stack, so I will Channel Frost. Yep, I want to dual cast. He's dead. I didn't really calculate that turnout. I just sort of played by intuition. Which, you know, if you're trying to really optimize your playstyle, if you wanted to really optimize your playstyle, what you would do is you would figure out what every combination of plays you can make is. And figure out the one that where you take the least amount of damage and you output the most amount of damage. Now, if you did that every time, you were presented with a hand, you'd probably be sitting here for 20 minutes or more just to figure out how to optimally play a single hand, especially as you gain more energy, get more card draw, especially as there's more effects and interactions with relics. So it gets complicated. When I'm overwhelmed with complication, I tend to try and simplify things, like, okay, this guy is attacking me for a lot of damage. You know, I need to put up some type of defense so I don't lose a bunch of HP. So I should play a defensive card. If I can play a defensive card that gives me card draw, then I play that one first. You know, you sort of, as you gain experience with the game, you sort of build up your own intuition about what cards should be played and what sequence they should be played in. Bias cognition, gain 4 focus at the start of your turn, lose 1 focus. Okay, so you gain 4 during your first turn. Your next turn comes around, you'll only have 3 focus. Next turn comes around, you'll have 2, and then 1, and then 0. So that's a pretty good card over the long run, actually. Now, while I'm tempted to pick up another focus-centered card, I feel like the problem of this deck right now is we aren't channeling enough orbs. Or there's not enough consistency with channeling orbs. So if you look at the deck as it currently is, I have a Zap, a Cool-Headed, and another Cool-Headed. So that's 3 cards that channel orbs. Ideally, I think I would like a 4th. I like Buffer. It's a nice solid defensive card. Seek I like less than the other cards, simply because it exhausts. But it is 0 energy. And allows you to effectively execute combinations of cards. I'm going to pick up Bias Cognition. I don't know if it's correct, but that's what we're going to do. I like the Slaver's Collar. I don't like picking up curses. And I don't like skipping out on gold, so those other 2 relics were not for me. So here we are in Act 2.